So it's about entrepreneurship next. There are many young people who want to be media personalities, but it's not all about glitz and glam. As an image consultant, I like to call myself an onion farmer. I want to bring out the best in people, to help you harness your full potential, the way you look, the way you behave, the way you sound. That's why we're speaking to people like Toke, who wakes up at 4 o'clock every morning to be on radio by 5. So it's not about being well dressed and hitting the red carpet. It's
the opposite in the morning.
Do you understand? She works hard. And from reading the book, the first thing I want to say is I gathered that Toke actually always wanted to be a media personality.
Yes.
She planned to be a media personality, and she set to work. So I just want Toke to just tell us in her own words, take me through step by step, this time on becoming a media personality.
Yeah. As I think you started on the right track, and you know every day you hear someone give you the facts from the beginning. It's not the glitz and glam at all. It is hard work. A lot of people asked why I didn't write enough about my career in this book, and that was for a reason, because my career is a book on its own. My journey through becoming a media personality is it's radio, television. So as when I was 18, I had my first encounter with radio. I think it was someone hearing my voice somewhere in church or something. I said, there's this youth program coming up that you might be able to read for, just coming. And I never had a job. Then I thought, okay, let me just do it. And I did. And I liked the fact that just with a click of a button, you are connected with me. You connect people, and people actually take your word. It's such a fascinating job, but it's a lot of work, and then that was very short-lived. I've had those shots in my face when I was trying to get back on the radio. It did not happen overnight. I did voice drops across radio stations, and Silverbird called me back almost immediately, and then I started my journey on the night show, the Graveyard Shift. People wouldn't remember that. And I say the Graveyard Shift makes you a better presenter, because a lot of people who have started out on radio and have longevity started out on the Graveyard Shift. And you can make all the mistakes you want to make in the world. There's no NBC that is trailing you at that time. There's no traffic that is saying you play this, so you can goof and learn. And when they say when God is also a part of your journey, because people ask me every day, what is that what is that thing that makes you tick? And I'm quick to say to them, there's the God factor. This is not us sitting here preaching, but I've seen it work in my life, and I can't lie. Do you understand? I don't know anyone. All I knew was, Lord, this is what I wanted to do, and I started to pray towards it. And I didn't even think it was going to be this big. I just thought, okay, this radio Graveyard Shift, starting radio at 10:30 up until 3 a.m. in the morning, sleeping on a bench, waiting till it's 5 a.m. before I head back from Jakonde back home. And all those days I was just doing it. I didn't even know that I was going to become a brand on my own. But I would say that even if I wasn't sure what was going to happen next, I had a vision for what I always wanted to happen in my life. And it didn't come with, if things start off very good, be worried, because along the line something is going to go wrong. Which is why when you even talked about the lake, I said, at least it happened now, because I know that there's a glorious end to this. Of course. That's my testimony, and even with marriages as well. I tell my friends who are still married, if they're having problems in first couple, look, things will be rough in the beginning, but you'll find your way as it goes. Be worried if things are good and middle of the road, the car dies and it's not reviving anymore. So it's the same with every aspect of our lives. So it didn't come without its own challenges. I had those shots in my face. I'll go for auditions to be on TV. They were literally, you read, you wait for hours under the sun, and but with every audition, I chose to be positive. Your mindset has a lot to play, and how long you go. So I remember when people be like, I'm tired, I won't go anymore. What I realized started happening was each audition, each no made me a better presenter. I became more confident. I became more, my own person. I would rehearse and I wouldn't be scared. The nerves would be a bit calm, because at the end of the day, I've heard no 5 times. I'm used to hearing no. One positive no shall come one day, Yeah. So accepting that also sort of made me, and accepting it positively. So after each audition, I'll go and ask and say, what did I do wrong? What did you think? Sometimes it's just because they're not looking for what you look like. Sometimes they might have something else in mind. Sometimes they feel like, oh, you didn't space out your words. Sometimes, and you take those critics and the criticism, you take it and you do not take it to heart, because no one likes rejection. The moment you take it and feel it's a me thing, you wouldn't go very far. But once you hear it and feel, okay, I can do better in the next one, so I'll look forward to the next audition, and I realized I became more confident. I would smile more. I wouldn't be worried if the camera lights come on. I could laugh and goof around and do things, and my personality started to show forth. So I would say, always put your vision behind your mind and expect the hiccups. You'll be very heartbroken if you think that life will hand you anything. Life doesn't owe any one of us. You have to find your way. You have to hustle your path, And when you're hustling, stay on your lane. Don't look at what the next person is doing. I'll give you a very funny, I don't think I've ever shared this in any interview, so this is an exclusive.
Oh, fantastic.
I remember when I wanted to first get a manager. It was such a heartbreaking story. So I met with this guy, and he sat in front of me and he called another radio presenter who is a female, and said, he first asked me, who do you think is your competition? Me feeling like, competition, okay. I'm not sitting here looking for anybody to compete with. I don't have any competition. Then he calls this person's name and says, she's number one right now. You need to go and study her and look at what she's doing and learn from her. And I left that meeting totally heartbroken, but I was determined that I would look at what the person is doing, but I wouldn't study to become like her. This is who I am. And the other day, this same person now wanted to manage me after so many years. And I sat and asked him, who is my competition right now? And he said, no one. So I said, I remember when I met with you, and you told me that you were not going to manage me. This was not being vindictive. We laughed about it. And I understood. I didn't take it to heart, because why was he going to give me a chance? Was I going to bring money to the business? Probably no. Do you know what I mean? So you take the bad news, but don't let it defeat you in your spirit. Let it make you determined that, you know what, I will make it. Because you want to see me fail. Just even to just see your face when I've arrived there and say, I did it, And sometimes most people in our lives, they don't, not because they don't believe in you, but they look at you life is funny, yeah? When you look down the road, you can only see as far as your eyes can take you.
Exactly.
So they look at you from where you're coming from, what they know about you, and where they think you're going to get to. And it's not a personal thing. You have to not take these things personal. Some people will judge you not because of you, but because of their own shortcomings and their own sights and their own limitations. So, I watched that Michelle Obama's clip where she said, her families, people she knew around her said she would never become who she was. Well, of course. They thought, and it wasn't because they were being spiteful, but because many of them probably didn't even go to college. So they're thinking, who are you to think you're going to do this? So it's not a hate thing. It's just, we know you. We know where you came from. Calm down. Do you understand? Exactly. But she realized that when she first got to those things started affecting her, but she started doing these things that they said she wouldn't do. And look where she ended up. So let it be let that be a force of determination. You find many people who try different things and they give up too quickly. I want to be a radio presenter because I heard one no, maybe I'm not good. I want to do TV because I heard 3 no's, then maybe I'm not good. And then you now be and it used to happen to me. I won't lie.
Hold the thought, okay, this is explosive. And what we try to do with Profile is, I don't want you to say so much and then I lose it. Number one thing Toke has said is, it's not personal. It should only inspire you. It should only ginger you, make you more determined is the word. So many knows. I mean, look at the story of Thomas Edison, I think it was, who invented the light bulb. He succeeded the 10,000th time. And when he was asked, how come you failed 9,999 times? He said, I didn't fail. I only learnt 9,999 ways not to do it. The second thing Toke spoke about is about your mindset. And I'm an avid believer. If you haven't read The Secret or watched the movie, the documentary, there's a book called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. You should read the book, where they talk about positivity and what you put out in the universe. The final thing Toke spoke about, after speaking about your mindset, about not taking it personally. Toke has spoken about goals, visions. If you have a goal, it means it is timed. And you determine, this is my vision, this is the time, this is what I'm going to do towards achieving that. If you don't time that goal, it's a wish, it's a dream. So these are some of the things Toke has said.
And the power of prayer, just chip that in, because you got to pray.
You have to pray.
You have to, I'm sorry.
Call on the higher being. There's someone bigger than you. And we've said pray. What about Christian, Muslim? Just pray.
Just pray.
My final question, before I give you my final words on how amazing it's been chatting to you today.
I know, it's like just chatting, catching up like we usually do.
Yes.
What is missing is drinks.
Soon. The final question is, if you had the opportunity to go back and change anything, what will it be?
If I had the opportunity to go back and change, there's so many different things in so many different areas. So I would say, I mean, just even growing up, if I had an opportunity to sort of go back and change, you know, I would definitely want my parents to still be around, and just to see how I was rooted in fear. I saw my dad just right in front of me, but I couldn't speak to him because I was scared. So that haunts me. It's haunted me for a very long time. But it also made me more determined, because he died right before he became, you know, I learned the value of hard work from the people that I came out of, if I can say that. And you know, he would, as I said, he would work with the government during the day. At night he was taking law lessons to be a lawyer. And if he was around now, I know he would be a great man. So
Probably a senior advocate.
yeah, do you know what I mean? So
The fruit never falls far from the tree.
So
and judging from,
thank you.
Okay.
So it was one of the things that also made me so determined, that he was on the way to become, and his life was cut short. But I didn't let my maiden name go, not because I didn't want to take on, you know, the person I was married to last name, but he understood when I said to him that I feel like I owe this to my dad, you know, to have his name become. He might not be here, but at least he has become.
Wow.
There's a Makinwa who's doing great things in life.
Fantastic, that's commendable.
And I'm excited that, you know, God has given me the grace for that. Also, I feel like, you know, even with, you know, on becoming, I shared a lot of my failures as well, and things that maybe I could have done. Maybe I could have been a bit more, you know, prayerful in certain instances. Maybe I could have found the strength to change some narratives and not accept certain things. But, you know, I feel like, as I always say, life comes with the good and the bad, and it's unfair if we all accept the good without the bad. Yes, so I don't actually have any regrets, because everything that was meant to happen has happened for a reason, and it somehow played out to make me a better person. Even when I'm on the floor, I fall backward with my face facing, you know, and
I like that one. My
feet ready to move as well. So it's always been lessons, you know, so that I wouldn't change anything. Actually, taking the blessings from the lessons. Yeah.
Well, you've heard from Toke, and I want to wrap this up by saying something I heard from Honorable Abike Dapiri, who read the keynote at Toke's book launch. She said something that was most profound. Guys, for those of you who will judge without reading the book, that's actually very sad. I think the fact that Toke has even written a book, the fact that she's shared, and I must say thank you for sharing, Toke, is a very, very laudable, it's a big step. You see, the thing is, when you become a media personality, when you've blown like Toke, you don't actually own yourself anymore, and you actually have a duty of care to the audience, to the people who you influence, who are looking up to you. And this is a must tell. She's told her story not to spite anyone. As I said, buy the book. But the one thing I heard from Honorable Abike Dapiri was, she said, you shouldn't worry about people who judge you. Those who judge you do not matter, and those who matter will never judge you. I hope that you have enjoyed, as I have enjoyed,
this has been fun,
listening to Toke. And like I said, she'll probably be back. More tips on entrepreneurship. For now, stay glued, stay tuned,
and
stay
focused,
and go and buy on Becoming. Yes, Toke, we are becoming.
Yes, we are.
Thank you so much for coming.
And I love this. I like the fact that this is the platform that aims to inspire, and you care about giving back and helping people out there, because so many people have these questions on how to do this, how to do that, and Google, even if it has all the answers, sometimes doesn't have the practical answers that you can get.
This person did it this way.
This is amazing.
Thank you. Well, thank you for coming.